This might get weird.
Are we recording?
I believe we are recording.
Oh, hell yeah. Cheers, Grace Helbig.
Cheers. Sorry.
Ooh, listen to that sound effect.
I know. Very Foley artist.
Mm.
Okay, here's my main story for this week's episode.
And then I've got some things to complain about.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Okay.
So on the way down to the Morongo, we left at the worst time of day on a Friday. So it took us like 3 hours to get down there. So I had to pee. So we stopped off at just a random stop and found a bar that we're like, oh, let's just grab a drink. Let's like hang for a second.
Shocked.
Like we've been in the car for an hour and a half. Yeah. What a derailing of what we would normally do. So we go in there, and I just want to preface, we were in this bar for less than 5 minutes.
Okay.
And this is what happened in that bar. So I'm wearing a sweatshirt, a yellow sweatshirt that has like a collar. I just bought it at Zara. And
Very Grace Helbig.
very Grace Helbig.
That's your like fancy meeting sweatshirt, isn't it?
Yeah, it was a fancy sweatshirt. And I come out of the bathroom, and Elliot's sitting at the bar, and he ordered us. We were like, let's just do a shot and then get back on the road. And so we're gonna like get
Don't
in
drink
and
and drive, kids.
Don't drink and drive.
Jesus.
And so we're literally just like in and out of this bar. In our theory is what's going to happen. And then this guy is sitting like just across the corner from us, and he compliments my sweatshirt. He's like, oh my God, I've never seen a sweatshirt with a collar like that. That's amazing. And I was like, cool, thanks, guy. Like, thanks, man. And he's like probably in his late 30s. And we're just kind of like trying to keep to ourselves. And then he goes, I have a girlfriend, by the way. I'm like not hitting on you at all. Like, she's outside talking to like some people. I was like, cool. Yeah.
We're fine.
Yeah.
I'm sitting beside a male
next to a guy that I'm clearly in this bar with. Like,
yeah.
You're good, dude. And then he just continues to like talk at us. Like, we are not asking him a single question. And like what we're doing, we said we're going to the Morongo. He said he celebrated his 21st birthday there.
Nice.
And we were like, oh, okay, what should we do? We've never been there before. Like, what do they have any certain games? Is there a bingo hall? Like, tell me everything. And he was like, you need cocaine and hookers. And we were like, ha, 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 la, la, la. Yeah, okay, don't worry. Those are already, we accounted for those already. We already did that. Check those boxes off. And then he literally goes to Elliot, step into my office. And
what?
Yeah. And I was like, what's going on? And so he and I switched seats. So he's next to this guy. This guy whispers in his ear for a second. And then Elliot comes back over and he goes, this man wants to sell us cocaine for $60. And I was like, no. And he's like, I know, I'm just doing this for face value with
to
this
show
man.
that I have brought you the offer.
And I was like, and he's like, we're good, man. We're good. Thanks so much. Then his girlfriend comes in from outside and he starts saying, he's like, look, girl, whatever her name was, like Megan or something. And he was like, look at her sweatshirt, babe. Isn't that so pretty? Like, look at this sweatshirt. And she could give a shit.
Yeah.
And literally goes, it's just clothing. I'm sitting there shrugging my shoulders going, I don't know what's happening. Then,
oh my God.
Then she leaves, goes back outside. She's trying to get him to come outside.
She's outside selling coke.
Who
Or
knows?
her coochie.
Who knows? It was, again, this is
Coke and poke.
This has been
That would be my special. I was a coke dealing hooker. Sorry, sex worker.
This is 3 minutes into the conversation. This happens.
God.
She goes back outside. She kind of like looks at me and she's like slamming a beer and like
she hates you.
I was like, I did not invite this at all to myself. Then she goes back outside. Then he starts to tell us that they've been together for 3 years. They're quote engaged. He asked super drunk, so they're not technically engaged apparently. And then he starts going off. I have no idea how this tangent in his brain happened, but he said that they have crazy sex.
Oh my God.
He came in her face once.
Oh my God.
And he felt terrible. He thought it was degrading. We have not said a single word.
Except, no, sir, we don't want your cocaine. And thank you that you like my shirt.
And then he said the one time he did it, it ricocheted back in his own eye.
Oh
and then,
my God.
He basically told us that he
came in his own face.
He came in his own face. And that's the thing that made him feel empathy for coming on his girlfriend's face. We were just like, can we settle up, please?
Mozzarella sticks.
couldn't. And then he went on to tell us
Oh,
that
no.
he also went on to say that he used to work on Blog TV years ago because he was like, "What do you guys do?" And I usually say like event planner or whatever when I don't want to talk about
something vague.
And so I was just like, "We do comedy." And then he was like, "Oh yeah, I used to do YouTube stuff. Do you know like Phil DeFranco or Shay Carl?"
No.
And we both went, "No, who are they?"
So then did he go into it?
Yeah, and he went into it, and it was very fun. But this is immediately after he told us he came in his own face.
So this is the source. You were like, let's get some hot gossip from a guy.
I couldn't, but this is 5 minutes of being in this bar.
What if at the end he went, well, nice to meet you. I'm Rick O'Shea.
But no, he
That'd
told
be a
us
great
that
name.
he used to do blog TV and that he would
I
do
don't
this
even know that's a thing.
years and years and years before like YouTube stuff, and that he used to do like a flirting thing so people would drive to have sex with him is what he told us as well. That
What exit did you say this was? My favorite part before we got there was the plane ride there.
Oh, I have this in my notes.
Okay, this is how you know that Grace and I are officially on this podcast together, because
when we stop talking to each
and
other,
we're both on our phones, but not
It's-
texting a man.
it's not rude. We're literally taking notes on our phone for a public situation in which we are both experiencing at the same time. We wonderfully thank you to the WWE.
Thank you, God bless.
They flew us out first class, which was
Where it's where we get our best stories.
And so we were sitting in like the second row of first class, and there's two people in front of us. How would you describe them?
I would describe the male as a white rapper.
I think he's 22 or 24.
I'm going to say maybe 22. Freshly drinking, and I'll tell you why.
Oh,
in
yes,
a minute.
yes. He's 22 because found out later that the girl that he talks about is way older than him.
Okay, now you're building
I'm
a story. You're
sorry.
jumping.
Sorry. I'm
I'd say,
getting people excited about something.
I'd say he was a white rapper. He had a really like big diamond watch on, and he also had
you had a better
tattoo.
angle on him.
He had a tattoo under his.
did?
You don't. Oh, this
Girl,
is what got me.
I
in.
was
Okay.
directly behind him.
No.
I could only see the woman next to him.
Okay.
I couldn't see his face.
You describe the woman, then I'll go into him.
Okay. The woman is everyone's stepmom. Mm-hmm. Everyone's stepmom that lives in Florida.
Absolutely. Now this gentleman has a tattoo under his eye that says "No Name," and it's red.
I didn't see that at all.
Okay, this is what got me into eavesdropping on their conversation. Is that I'm looking and I'm like, I gotta read what the fuck his face says. And the woman, everyone's stepmom, goes, "Oh wow, that must have hurt."
That's how the conversation started?
And he goes, "Yeah, I've gotten it lasered 3 times. I'm trying to get it off. That's why it's pink instead of black."
I heard that. 'Cause
Yeah.
my notes start with her saying, "What is that? Does it say you found God? And how did you find God?"
No, she says, "Why are you getting tattoo removed?" He says, "I found God." And she goes, "Or
Yes.
did he find you?" And I was like, and that's when I looked at Grace and went, "Oh, well, we are both writing down notes."
And we both went claws deep into the pleather Delta cushions.
You know
in
what?
front of us.
You know what I love though is that there's so much circulating air on a plane that this is almost like a game of telephone, where you might have heard things differently than I did.
My notes say that she started asking him like what he does.
Yes.
And he started talking about his music.
Yes, he makes music.
And then he asked her, "What do you do?" And she said,
says,
"I make
children."
babies."
Yeah, he said, "I make music." "Oh, really?" "I make babies." Here's what I got, and then that's pretty much when I clocked out. Is after she said she makes children, and the flight attendant came over
Yeah.
to ask about drinks. He ordered, and I quote,
A Disaronno.
"Disaronno on the rocks."
I know, that's what I have in my notes too. He ordered Disaronno. And I
On the
was like,
rocks.
What age are you
That's
actually?
why I'm like, this kid is 22. If you're ordering amaretto on the rocks, specifically Disaronno, like what? Where?
He literally saw the commercial in the airport before he got on the plane.
I was like, that sounds like a liquor. Clock it to memory. You're going to sound like a grown up.
But then I have that the flight attendant said, "I don't even know what that is."
Yes.
I'm going to say, "No, we don't have it."
And I know
then
they
he
do.
just goes, "Okay, can I have a Jack and Coke?"
I know. He was just naming stuff. The only other thing I listened to in this conversation of my favorite, I could have watched them for hours, but then we were taking off and it was loud, is that she said, when they're talking about his music, she said, did you have a show out here? Is that why you were in LA?
Yeah.
And he goes, no, I was getting veneers.
Wait, what? I missed that part of the conversation.
And then he showed her his teeth. We have not even started taxiing. He said, no. And she goes, oh, you came out to LA for veneers. And he goes, they're the best out here. He came out to Beverly Hills to get veneers.
And then she goes, my notes say MILF later.
Oh, no.
So you're in an open relationship? Because they started talking about his girlfriend. Because turns out he's 18, she's 24.
Wait.
I have that in my notes. I don't know. Don't quote me on it, but I quoted myself on it. So he's 18. His girlfriend's 24. That's why he's ordering Di Serrano on the rocks, because he saw one commercial one time, and that's what he thinks adults
ordering alcohol on the plane when he was 18.
And
That's balls. But I guess if you have a face tattoo, a diamond watch, and fresh veneers, people don't know any different.
And he goes, we're kind of in an open relationship. And so
did they go fuck in the bathroom?
That's what I literally was grabbing her arm being like, this woman wants to fuck this kid.
Oh,
that's
my
before
God.
I knew that her husband
that's
was
why
a
the
row
husband
behind
was
us.
like, no, Daryl, sit a row back in case I get lucky.
Oh, when we landed, remember when we landed and she was talking to her husband? You clocked it.
No, she goes, there's my husband. Hey, princess, get my bag. She called her husband princess. It's like, if he couldn't have been more emasculated with the fucking denim cargo shorts he was wearing. Ooh. Here we go. They were probably all going to Disney World. But if anyone knows a white rapper stationed in Orlando with no name tattooed on his face, maybe. We don't know if he's had more laser sessions. Let us know who it is. I remember, sorry, this is getting personal. I used to be in the tub and I'd play Mermaid. And I would let the water just run on my vagina, spread eagle, and be and be like, oh, and have no idea that was dirty. I had no idea. And I'm sure my mom walked in to make sure I was done bathing and be like, okay, honey, and be like, I'm playing Mermaid. I'm accidentally masturbating. It feels really good. When you put your china under the water, Mom.
You put your china.
I didn't call it vagina. I called it my china. Okay, here's the deal. Our friend Katie.
Yes.
God love her. She's the best. She's like one of those people who gets season passes to theme parks.
Well, she's from Orlando, right?
She's from Orlando, so it's in her blood.
Yeah.
She's trash. And I love you, Katie. You're listening to this right now. Trash in the best way. So am I. She was like, hey, I'm doing a 5K at Universal Studios Sunday morning. Her husband, James, was going to do it, but now he's out of town and on the road. Do you have any interest? And I was like, no. I was like, no. I was like,
yeah, Captain Bad News.
Well, I was like, well, what time? And then I look it up. She sends me the link and it starts at 6 a.m.
It starts at 6 a.m.?
Yeah. I'm like, 0% chance. And then I think about it. I'm like, I don't have many stories for the podcast this week. And then I look at it and it's Minion themed.
Oh, okay.
Have you looked at my medal?
It's
a Minion with minions running on it. I see that it's Minion themed. I'm like, hold on a second.
What does that even mean?
It means there's minions along the way. It means minions greet you, minions congratulate you, and you get a Minion medal. I looked it up and I said, this medal that I'm wearing right now has a Minion on it. And then a spinning thing that shows minions running. And I was like, Katie, how do I get into this? She goes, you have to, their online registration is done. You have to go to Universal Studios. I went to Universal Studios yesterday.
Oh.
And registered.
And
fucking registered. And I was like, I'll see you tomorrow. Katie is such a wonderful nerd that she's like, I'm going early. I'm scoping it out. I'm like, you're going early when it starts at 6 a.m.? And I was like, no, I'll meet you at the ET parking deck. So I wake up, Beans rolls over, and I was like, can you believe this shit? She was like, what the fuck? She didn't even get out of the blanket. She was like, bitch, what? It is dark out.
It's the Lord's Day. What are you doing?
I was ready. I brewed myself a cup of coffee. I put on my spandex. I brushed my teeth, threw my hair up, drive 15 minutes, park, meet Katie, And it's just like this whole culture of people who do 5Ks you don't know about. We get there. And okay, I didn't realize they like time you out. So the later you get there, the later you start.
Oh,
so
yeah.
they send like, let's say 400 people every 5 minutes. So we didn't actually start running till like 6:30. So I was there for an hour before I did anything. Jesus. But then we start going, man. We run past 2 minions who are just been like cheering the whole time in their little tiny Twinkie bodies.
So that's the thing is that they're just interspersed throughout the course.
Oh, I'll get there.
Oh my God.
Okay. So we're running. We're like running through like the first little neighborhood. I don't even know what it is, you know, because I'm not up to date. We round a corner. There's Despicable Me, 8 feet tall. And apparently he has a twin brother with blonde hair. I just bust out laughing. I'm like, oh, hello, Despicable Me. And they're cheering for us, right? Like full just costume cheering.
This is literally like, do not come up to this race on any drug or any substance at all.
It was
you will
insane.
lose your fucking mind.
I have to pull up my notes about it. But then we round the corner and we're in Springfield. So we're in the Simpsons area.
Okay, yeah.
So there were a lot of hills. Like it was not an easy. We went
through
through Hogwarts.
It's through Universal Studios before the park is open.
Before the park is open. But here's the thing is that they kind of, they placed the Minions along the way, but they needed more Minions. Okay. They needed more Minions. We come around, we go down this huge hill. We're like, oh shit, it's the back lot. It's not just the park. It's like the back lot. So you're going up hills. We go down the hill and we're in Amityville. We're in the scene from Jaws. Oh, we round the corner. There's a fake lake and every 90 seconds you're so that they have like a shark fin come out, it goes back down, and then you're like, da, 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 and then you hear like screams, and this fake scuba diver man like emerges a little bit and then gets sucked down, and then there's fake blood.
Oh my God.
In front of that is a photo op with 2 vacation minions.
Wait, so you can stop along the way?
So to get pictures with the Minions, you have to like stop. And we were like, oh no, we're in a groove. Like I don't run 3 miles. Like we're doing this. Like we're jog, speed walk. But it's just so funny. There's like a Minion with a fanny pack and Hawaiian shirt and a Minion with like a straw, like, you know, like Hawaii hat. While this dude's getting murdered every 90 seconds by a shark behind us.
All of it makes sense to me.
It was so surreal. We keep going. There's a jailbreak Minion by the motel from Psycho. I'm like, they really just put these Minions in the weirdest places. We keep going, which by the way, along the whole way, Katie keeps saying facts. And I'm like, okay, this girl has a season pass. I get it. We keep going. We get to, do you know War of the Worlds, the Tom Cruise movie?
Sure.
It's like aliens attack. It's like Dakota Fanning got her like big start in one of those.
Great.
So there's this area that it looks like a Boeing 747 crashed.
Okay.
And P.S. there's a purple Minion in front of a crashed plane taking photos with everyone.
This is like the worst Easter egg shot of all time.
Dying. So that's happening. And we're like speed walking past. And Katie goes, you know, actually, this is a real 747. It was cheaper for them to buy one and tear it apart. That cost $200,000, but to actually ship it, it cost $500,000. And I was like, what? She was a goddamn backlot tour guide at Universal in Orlando. I was like, I just did a 5K through the backlot of Universal Studios with someone who was a backlot fucking tour guide. I was like, how do you know all this shit? And then it finally came out.
Oh,
isn't that
my
hilarious?
God.
So I was basically doing this run instead of doing it on a tram.
She's like biting her tongue to tell you every single thing.
She's like, you know, so it actually cost $200,000. I was like, this is
triggered the whole time to be like, this is what I'm supposed to say at this moment.
This is the best scenario of
God.
all time. We finally make it. You know, it's like 3.1 miles, which is nothing. But also, I'm not kidding. Like, I'm going to say 35% of it was uphill.
That's nuts.
It was insane.
To run at that early hour, however long you're running, to me is too much.
But then when you get to the end and you finally get back to Universal City Walk and there's like real people.
Yeah.
And you see those medals in the distance that are these yellow Minion medals. Like they're cheering you on. There's Minions dancing on stage.
And you have to remember that there's humans inside of those Minion costumes.
At this point, it's 7:30 in the morning.
My God. I'm still asleep at this point.
Yeah. I mean, any normal person would be. It's Sunday.
Yeah.
We get it. We get our medals, and then they're like hyping it up. I get a picture with the Minion in the background before they like maybe keep moving. But then beside it, like the only open place is Voodoo Donuts.
Oh,
we've been to Voodoo
in Portland, yeah,
like insane donuts, and everyone from the run is stuffing their faces with donuts, and I'm like,
carbo.
We just burned these like not one of the we did not burn a bite of this donut. I got so mad. I was like, you guys, we've done such good work, and now you're eating donuts at 7:30 in the morning. Anyway, I caught the fever. Obviously, I'm never going to be a runner. I'm a brisk walker. But I was like, this was really fun. Oh, I got a shitting story. Sorry. We are back. We are back and ready to rock. Okay. A couple weeks ago, I was at Le Pain Cottadin or whatever. I have no idea how to say that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Le Pain Don Quixote.
Yeah. The Pain La Quinta Inn.
Yes. the painful La Quinta. And I was there. I was getting ready to meet with our now joint accountant.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, I'm here early. I should go pee. So I go outside, and they had like two bathrooms, single person bathrooms, non-gender, it didn't matter. I'm waiting in line. This large man comes up behind me, bald hair, and he goes, oh, what about the men's room? And I went like, oh no, it's like non-gender. I'm waiting. They're both full. And he is like sweating.
Oh no.
And like rocking from foot to foot.
Oh no.
You know, when
all
you're
the
like,
signs are there.
when it happens and you're like, I gotta keep moving, or like something else is gonna, like, I gotta keep my brain focused on something.
I just tricked my digestive system
sweating.
into thinking we're still walking to the bathroom.
Exactly. But when one of the bathroom frees up, I can't be like, hey dude, you obviously have to poop.
You got those shit sweats.
I mean, you are freaking the fuck out. So I just went in there, and then, so I'm on the toilet.
Uh-oh.
Thank God, because I would have peed my pants. I'm on the toilet. He finally gets in there.
Oh no.
And he starts very loudly being relieved and talking through it. And
wait, he's saying actual words?
I have 4 seconds of it recorded.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Okay, literally, Grace, are you doing an impression of him? Because he'd been doing this for 30 seconds before I got my phone. One more time. He moaned, oh my God, for like a minute straight. I was like waddling, hadn't even wiped yet, getting my phone out of my purse, trying to hit record, making sure I wasn't recording my bare vagina. Literally.
It sounded like a cross between like Moaning Myrtle from Harry Potter and like the things that you hear on the Dumb Ghost Adventures like episodes where they're like, she said yes.
Yeah,
she
totally.
said like, watch out. And it's just like,
oh my God. It was crazy. I had an audition this morning,
right?
And I got there early because I get there early so I can do my makeup in the car, so I can have decent lighting, and also
no, that's smart because I always do my makeup in my house, and I get in my car and I go, I look like the Simpsons gun, the makeup gun that got shot in my face.
Totally, like a full Van Gogh.
Yeah.
So they call me first. Okay, first of all, the casting director is so lovely, but at the sign-in sheet there is a printed paper on.
Oh no.
On the wall, I won't use her real name. That just, like, let's say the casting director's name is Molly. That just says, Molly doesn't do handshakes. Like, it full on is telling you, don't walk in and try to shake her hand.
Don't touch her.
Don't. She has hundreds of people in here every day. Don't shake her hand. So anyway, I get into the room. I am the first one in there. We do the couple of sides. It's very Southern. It's very like, oh, you going to this reunion? Like blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. I do it a couple times. It's fine. Sure. It's not good. The first time we did it, I forgot the last line and just like stared at her. And then I was like, oh, there's another line. But then she goes, do you sing? Oh. And I said, yeah, I do. I mean, I can.
Yeah, you do.
And she goes, okay, you can totally just send us a link of you singing or whatnot. But in this episode, in a couple of these episodes, she'll be singing. Would you rather just sing live right now? And I go, okay. And she goes, yeah, in one of the episodes, she sings that song Closing Time.
The
Closing
semi-sonic.
time. Yeah. So I just go, I guess I'll sing that then.
Wait. So you closed your audition
with
the
closing
song
time.
that closed every 6th grade dance I had.
6th grade dance. High school proms. So I'm just there with the woman who won't shake my hand, and I just go like, closing time. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. And then I air drum and I go, I know who I want. And I sing the whole chorus.
Wait, you air drum?
Because I was like, can't stay here. And I was like, I need to sing 6, 7, 8. I know who. I was like, I have to do more. That was like one measure. I accidentally sang like the end of the first verse. I had to go into the chorus. So I'm singing closing time, being like, I have no idea what I'm doing. And then I go, take me home. And then she goes, that was great. Thank you. I go, thank you. And I just like, leave.
Did you accidentally go to the first round of auditions for American Idol?
I don't know. I didn't even have a hilarious week. I had a hilarious day. Like yesterday was College Hunks to Catcon.
I was so...
It's a Catcon, if you're not hearing it right, is a cat convention. So I get to Catcon. I'm like, here we go. You know, everyone's wearing, there's more cat ears than an Ariana Grande con.
By yourself?
Yeah. 100%.
Are you with Chip?
No, I'm by myself.
Okay.
I do this shit by myself. I'm not trying to have Chip distract me. So out of the gate, it's exactly who you think would be attending Catcon. Mm-hmm. Cat lovers, parents with children.
Yes.
Cat like pun shirts all over the place.
Perfect.
I walk in and immediately see a woman who has like a motorized scooter with a sign on front that says Cat Lacey. She's dressed like Khaleesi and she has Game of Thrones behind her on her motorized scooter. I was like, you've won Cat. You won Catcon.
Yeah.
But so I walk in and, you know, it's a convention. So it's basically like a marketplace for people to shop. One of the things that interested me so much was how many new-fangled litters there are.
Oh.
Kitty litter is crazy.
Okay.
But I walked around. I saw kitty litter made out of coconuts. Kitty litter made out of tofu. I'm not kidding. I saw a booth. It was tofu litter.
Okay.
And one of their taglines was, it's a little bit amazing.
That's really good. Okay. They did it. Okay.
So there are a few people there dressed as full cats.
Sure.
But specifically, like, I took a picture with this cat that had like a nice body. Like it was a dude. It was a dude cat.
Wait. He's not wearing a cat body. He's wearing his human body.
But like he gave the cat a nice body.
Oh, okay. I don't know what that means.
And then his girlfriend who was leading him around had the same tail that would move.
Wait.
It was a furry.
Oh.
That was 100% a furry.
Wait, yeah, I was going to ask, does that bleed over into
I think
this?
it does. So anyway, I see one more in the lobby, and her tag.
Wait, one more person dressed
one
as
more
a cat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Her tag says Meryl the Feral.
A feral cat.
So I go and
She's the rejected cat from Cats, the
yes,
musical.
exactly. Oh, God. Don't get me started.
Don't get me started on Deuteronomy.
And Deuteronomy. So I am like, Meryl, may I have a picture?
So polite.
I wanted to say that sentence, but to a different Meryl. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, Meryl, may I have a picture? And I get someone to take it, and I put my arm around, and she had on like what looked like a little backpack, almost like a camel pack, which I assumed it's like, yeah, cats don't have pockets.
And they get dehydrated. It's hot in this costume.
You need it. Put my hand there. It's vibrating. It was a purr machine. It was like,
what? Wait, what?
And it was vibrating my hand. And I was like, she's got a fucking vibrator on her back so that she that purrs when she's excited.
And now you've been violated
Now I'm
by
like,
accident.
oh, my hand just fucked Meryl. Like,
No.
yeah, she started purring with a light vibration when I hugged her for a pic. And so I see around the corner that's all in one exhibit hall. So there's one other little area called Temptations, the cat treat, presents Paradise City.
Everything sounds too sexual now.
Yeah, I know.
Everything sounds...
Temptations is a weird, sexy name for a cat treat.
And then Paradise City or Paradise City.
I walk around the corner to Paradise City. And what Paradise City is, I learn before I get in there, is that it's basically like an Instagram pop-up, like backgrounds that are cool for you to take pictures in. Okay. And there's like 3 of them.
Okay.
But there's a fucking line. And I'm like, I refuse to wait in line for anything here at Catcon. I just go and I'm going to like finish my coffee and I go and sit in a windowsill over in the corner. And then I was like, and then I hear, what are you doing here? It's this guy, Tommy, who works at my old PR company, Metro, Tessa's company. And I'm like,
who could have gotten you in for free?
Well, so I go, what are you doing here? He goes, we represent Catcon. I was like, wow. I was like, cool. He goes, you didn't pay for this, did you? I go, yeah. I mean, no one, because I'm not a client right now. So I was like, yeah, I just came last minute. It's all cool. So I'm like, yeah, I'm here. I'm getting ready to leave. You know, Paradise City has a line. And Tommy's like, I can get you through.
What?
So I'm skipping the line and I'm like, pardon me. And he's like, excuse me. You know, like you would if we are like a VidCon, but we're a fucking Paradise City. And I am peeing laughing. I am like, I cannot believe this is, I'm using a hookup to skip the line at Paradise City. We get to the front, full like velvet rope lifted. Like a literal velvet rope gets lifted and we slide through and I like look back at the plebeians like, sorry, bitch. So that was my Catcon.
Wow.
It was worth every dollar, but it was like that was 1 hour.